It's what is going on with you? Hello. We have Miss Opal here to start today's video. Hold on, I gotta readjust myself. You gotta lay down. Hi everyone. Hold on, let me tell you more. We have a friend. A new friend. Usually our friend is Finn in these videos. Today our friend is Opal. She has been absolutely loving this bed. I think it's because it's next to the window she can actually lay down, unlike in my mom's room where the windows are either on, like, the things next to the window are her chair, which isn't always have the most room, especially when she has her sister there, because that's where Iris loves to lay, or the bureau, which is obviously not as comfy as a bed, which they are cat beds up there because they love it so much, but oh, okay. She also gets pets when she's here, which is an added bonus. This is Iris's new this is not Iris, this is Opal's new spot, so you'll be seeing her more and more. Getting into today's video, I wanted to talk about existing while in pain because I've been in a pretty bad pain flare up this last weekend, hence why we're doing another sit down video, because I actually had a completely different video planned for this week, but I do not have the energy to film it this week, so that'll probably end up being next week's video. But I thought I could sit and kind of talk about how I get through those bad pain days, both in terms of pain management while you're going through it, getting things done, and also how to entertain your time. So it's kind of the three main things we'll be touching on in this. So I just want to start with the pain management stuff because that's kind of the most pressing thing when it comes to these times when you go through your pain flare up. For me, I do try and take as little medication as possible, which might sound counterintuitive to some people, but when you take pain meds a lot, your body starts to build up a tolerance to it, and so you start needing stronger medication over the course of your life. And I'll get there at some point, I'm sure. Most people do. But right now, since I can get away with taking as little as possible, that's what I do. So typically, when it comes to pain, we're talking heating pads. This is a heating pad. There's one on the inside. You can see the Velcro on the back. This is my croissant. I named him Kenny after my dermatologist who diagnosed my skin cancer. He's very helpful. He's also the perfect shape. It's a croissant, but it's the perfect shape for your stomach. It just fits so nicely. I have that. I do a lot of laying around. I have a heated blanket on my bed at all times for when I'm having the full body, really bad pain days. Ice packs always in my fridge to use, multiple of them so I can switch them out. I have a migraine cap for when my head hurts. I have all the braces, ankle braces, knee braces. I just recently got hand ones. What else, Opal? I do all the stretches, and that kind of ends up being my priority when these days come, is managing my pain, because when you're in pain, it takes a lot of energy away from you. So it becomes really difficult to do anything. One, because it hurts, but two, because you just don't have the energy to do it. So that kind of leads into, I've done pain management videos before, so that's why that's not a huge part of this one. I will leave a link to a video where I talked about it more, so if you want more of a dedicated video, you can go see that. But when it comes to when these days come, so like I said, I'm kind of in one, I'm at the tail end of it now, but how do you manage your time when you have work, but you're in pain? For me, because I work for myself and I work from home, I get a lot more flexibility than others. But when I was in college and I needed to get work done, but I was in pain, what I would do is I would sit and look at whatever was due that day. So if I had a paper, if I just had to do discussions, if I just had nothing that was actually due that day, 'cause sometimes I would have days like that, I would kind of not pick and choose. I would just only do what I had to get done that day, and that was it. That was all I did that day. So if it was a day where nothing was due, then I would say, okay, we're not doing that. I also work 4 days a week, and so when I'm having a bad pain day, I will just move my day off from Wednesday normally. Someone's taking her bath. Ignore her. But yeah, I work 4 days a week. If I can, I'll move the day off that I typically take Wednesday to whatever day that is, whatever day I'm having the bad pain day, if it's in the beginning of the week, or I will just work on a weekend if it's later. I just work 4 days of the week, however, whatever order my body lets me do it in. Again, that's a privilege that I have. So yeah, if nothing was due, I just wouldn't do any work. I would just take the sick day and just allow myself to manage my pain on my own time. But if I did have things due, I would actually work from my bed. That was something that was really helpful. You can't see it in the shot, but I have a rolling desk. If you've seen, actually, let me just grab it. Hold on. I'll be right back. You can kind of see it. I definitely can. So this is my desk. It's like one of the, it's very messy right now, ignore that. But it's like one of those desks that you have, one of the tables you have at the hospital where it rolls under the bed. So you have like a table at your bed. That's what this is. And buying this was so helpful because I use it in my recliner, and I can actually recline. I use it on my bed. I have a carved out spot under the storage in my bed, under my bed, so it will roll here so I can eat when I'm not doing well. Hold on. But I don't think everybody can do this. I think I'm just short enough to be able to do this. It's what is going on with you? Opal's here. Yeah, I'm just short enough that if I put the desk at the top of the height, that you are so distracting. I can use it as a standing desk. That's what I'm trying to say. So I can use it in a bunch of different ways, whatever way works for me. Before I had that, I just had like a little lap desk, or I would literally have my laptop just like on my lap doing the work. For me, it was whatever got me through it is how I got the work done, basically. So that would be the priority at the beginning of the day, was getting what needed to get done, and then I would literally just sit and not do anything else because I've needed to take care of my pain, whether that was heating pads, pain meds, whatever needed to happen, that's what I did. Opal's off on an adventure now. I don't know how great this is to say online, but I know everybody's boss is a little different. I know for my mom, one of the biggest things that has been helpful for her just mental health wise when she's working is making sure that she has somewhere to, like, she has her desk where she works and she comes upstairs just for a 15-minute break just to sit in her recliner, and sometimes that's what she does. And if you can take a break, definitely do it. I would say if you can find a way to work somewhere that is as comfortable as possible, or you can just manage your pain the best as possible in that spot, then that's where you should work. The door's open enough, Opal was able to leave. It's just us now. So that's kind of how I get my work done. How I got my work done when I was in college, because I think that's the most helpful advice I can give for that. When it comes to my actual like YouTube work now, I have videos like this planned where I have a list of sit down just chit chat videos for when I'm having these pain flare ups. For a day like today where I'm still definitely in pain from the flare up, it's just the tail end of it and I have enough time to film and talk to all of you, and I can edit it tomorrow, upload it for Thursday, and you all have a video. These videos are just a lot easier for me to do. They're a little bit less, they can be a little bit more spontaneous. I'm literally just kind of just talking at this point, ranting at you as I do. And yeah, there isn't really a lot. So it's easier on me for the filming day and the editing day. These videos also don't take a lot to edit. That's one thing I have been working on, is trying to find a balance of editing a video that I like to watch, like adding like fun little cuts and things like that, while also it being sustainable for me to do all the time. We're figuring that out. Just give me some time. I'll figure it out. What was the last thing I was going to talk about? I said 3 things: pain management, how to bide your time. That's what it was. Because here's the thing, when you're in pain, yes, it takes up a lot of your mental space, but also you can't just be like staring at a wall. So this is where hobbies come into place. If you are chronically ill, get your ass a hobby right now. This is not a joke. I'm telling you right now, get yourself a hobby. Go right now. This is the threat. Having a hobby has been night and day for these bad pain days. Like, I remember having bad pain days where I would literally just doom scroll on my phone, and it would make me feel even worse about, not only was I now in physical pain, I was basically in mental pain, because that's how the world is right now. I mean, just look at it. Of course it's not great, but then I would also even if I didn't go on like TikTok or something, I was just watching YouTube videos and stuff, I would be so in my head about it. Oh, you could be doing something else. You could be using this time better. Or I would just like really beat myself up over it. And so having a hobby has been really nice, even though I still have YouTube videos going on in the background when I do them. It is nice to have a hobby where I feel like I was able to kind of separate myself. So I like reading because it's an off-camera thing. Not off-camera, it's an off-phone activity. I usually read in somewhat quiet. I'm not a like listen to music while you read person. I'm a things are quiet and I'm reading person. So that's something I literally did basically all of yesterday. Is I sat and I read a huge chunk of my book. I think I read like 50 half of my book yesterday alone, which is great. I hear it just so even though I was in pain yesterday, I was still doing something that was able to feel like self-care. Like I was taking care of myself. And when I watch movies or TV shows when I feel like this, I do my best to stay off of my phone so that it feels like I'm engaged. It feels like I am spending my time present with myself. I think that's the biggest thing I like when it comes to hobbies is taking the time to be present with myself and not always just doom scrolling or just putting a YouTube video on for the sake of having background noise or something. I also like to crochet. That's harder to do on bad pain days because it hurts my hands. That's more of a I'm feeling pretty okay and I want to do something. Reading's a lot easier. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do personally. Those are the hobbies I enjoy. I also enjoy baking, but that's not exactly something I can do when I'm in pain, nor do I want to. I really don't have much to say. Like I said, my brain's kind of running on empty over here. So that's kind of the bulk of what I wanted to talk about. One thing I do want to leave this video with is just remember that when you're in pain, it takes away a lot of your energy. And so it's going to take you longer to do things than it even would on a normal pain day for you. So something that usually took you an hour might now take you 2 or 3, maybe even 4 if it's really bad. But you just need to remember to take the time to actually allow yourself to do things however long it takes you, because at the end of the day you're in pain and the fact that it got done is what matters. I remember I would sometimes, this isn't the best thing to admit, I would write a paper in a day, which for me on a normal pain day is actually not that difficult. I'm a pretty good writer, so getting a few page paper written in a day wasn't that big of a deal for me. Hey, you've come back. Full circle. Okay, you're looking at the window. Yeah, it would take me about a day to write a paper on a good day. On a bad day, not so much. I would do that, and what I would tell myself throughout the whole process is at least you got it done. At least you got it in on time. It doesn't need to be perfect. It does not need to be great. It doesn't even have to be good as long as you got it done on time. Because a lot of my professors in college, this isn't every professor, but a lot of them, especially those that were aware and very accommodating of my disabilities, were happy to see that I would submit what I would submit on time, but were also more than happy to give myself a day after the assignment to polish and rework my essay for a better grade. That was also something I would remember. So, yeah, if you're in college and you're in pain, make sure that you communicate with your professors about your disability, because even if you don't have like a 504 or anything, I never had one. Definitely needed one, but I never had one. Even if just like talking to your professors being like, "Hey, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm doing really crappy. Could you like I can submit something, but it's not going to be my best. Would it be possible to submit what I have and polish it and resubmit something cleaner next week and see what they say?" Because a lot of my professors, they were just happy to see that I was willing to communicate and work out a problem. Again, unfortunately, not all professors, but a lot of the ones that I found did that. So just ask. You would be surprised how willing professors are to give you accommodations when you need them. What I would do, I want to see if I can find this. If I can find it, I will leave it either in the description or in the pinned comment. Whatever I can find is the best way of doing this. I had a like copy paste email that I would send professors when I was having a bad pain day and I needed like a time extension. I needed some sort of accommodation for that specific assignment because I didn't have any 504 accommodations because my doctors were crappy. I would like have a copy paste email that I would send them to see if I can get these accommodations because asking is hard enough. Having to write out an entire email to ask them was like I would be like, no, I'm just not doing it. I don't have the energy. So just being able to copy, paste, send, and just see what happens and just be like, I sent it, at least I tried. I'm moving on was helpful. So if I can find it, I will leave it linked. I might even just write a new one and leave a link to it. So if you are in college or just something to have for life, honestly, and you need some accommodations and you don't have the ability to get them normally, or even if you can and you still just need a copy paste email to send, I will leave that in the description for you to have because you should be able to have accommodations. All right, my animals are getting restless with me. It's time. It's time to go. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. On screen now are my social media handles if you'd like to see more day-to-day things that I get up to. And with that, I will see you next week for a brand new video.